you stress about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now. The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now, because your business matters.
Yeah. Welcome to the #1 live business show in North Carolina. We are coming to you live from our Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village. Please go by there and see them. Tell them Joe sent you, and your first cigar is on me. Matter of fact, you might be able to see my sign in the back. I got it back there. Go on by there, tell them Joe sent you, and your first cigar is on me. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. I am Joe Vagnone, and this is Local Biz Now. We've been going strong for over 11 years. I know I don't look that old, but we've been doing this 11 years. Let me prove it to you. We have well over 855 small business owners and community leaders that we have interviewed over the years. We have well over 600 videos in our interview YouTube channel. Go to Joe Vagnone Business Broker for YouTube, Joe Vagnone Business Broker. Please subscribe, and you can see this video, this show. We break them up into individual guests. So much information and data. And today is no exception. We have an exceptional guest on the second half hour of the show. You are not going to want to miss this. The information she has is exceptional. And again, all of this will be on YouTube's Joe Vagnone Business Broker. Please go there and subscribe. We are live on the book, live on the tubes, live on the X, and live on the chain. For those of you that don't know Joe Talk, that is Facebook, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn. Go on by there. Wilton also got me on some kind of podcasting situation. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but if you podcast, we got a way to podcast. And we'd be more than happy to take your questions on Facebook. I'm following Facebook Live right now. So let me know if you got a question, and I'll be more than happy to get that answered. You are listening to Local Biz Now every Monday afternoon, because your business matters. And every Monday afternoon, we have a co-host, and this month is no exception, James Smith. James is the founder of My Outdoor Joy. He is the self-proclaimed adventure leader. My Outdoor Joy. James, thank you for being here, buddy.
You are welcome. Just got to come here and raise the bar.
you might be able to do that. So we got a lot to talk about today.
Absolutely.
And we got to get started on it. But before we do that, for those that don't know or forgot, what is My Outdoor Joy?
We are adult recess for those who have forgotten what it's like to be outside and having some fun. So our goal is to take people who have beginner to intermediate skills in the outdoors and teach them how to get back outside. This weekend was even better. No exception. We had a Mother's Day camp out. A ton of people, a good time, lots of conversations. They're ready to do it again.
So the best way for me to describe what you do is for you to describe how this got started, because it really is just a group of people, which, by the way, it's like over 3,000.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
That you put together these different events, all of them outdoors of some sort. They pick and choose what they want to participate in. And you bring them along, either they're beginners or they're experienced, and you have the experienced people teaching the beginners. And am I explaining this correctly?
That is pretty much right. So what we've done is we got started because I taught quite a bit of outdoor skills. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to focus on people who, during COVID, were told to go outside, but nobody knew what to do when they got there. So at the end of the day, what we said is we're going to take beginners, intermediate adults, and we're going to say we're going to teach you whatever you want to learn, whether it's hiking, it's backpacking, you want to be on a kayak. You know, we'll get them, the really adventurous people that go scuba diving. Yeah.
A kayak is a death trap. Just so you're aware of that.
Oh,
I need to get you out to the house, teach me how to do that.
Yeah, it is not bad at all. You know, we brought some people scuba diving in the YMCA. I always put my disclaimer in.
That's right.
You're not going in the ocean. You're going into the YMCA. And we teach these beginners how to get out and enjoy all these things that they see on YouTube, on TV. And we are focused on beginners. So we're not going to see a Navy SEAL showing up to one of our events.
That's right. That's right.
We're probably
unless you invite them so they can help.
That's exactly right, which
Okay.
is what happened on one of our events. What we're looking at are people that say, I want to learn something, you know, and what we've done is we've grown. This year we're going to Tanzania because people want to do a hike. We're going on safari. They're going to go to Kilimanjaro to see the base camp. We are just growing, and this is what we want.
So Julie, remember, she typed it on Facebook, adult recess.
Yes.
And so I get that, right?
Mhm.
And we talked last week, and it seems as though it's not only doing these events and being outside, it's doing with some other people. Just to have
Correct.
somebody to do some stuff with.
Correct. One of the things that we found out,
Because not everybody likes to sit at home and smoke a cigar like me all alone.
and it's all women. There's the other thing that we never planned on it. We never understood it.
Those guys that are interested, you could use
You
some
should
help
probably
doing
come
that.
on out. And one of the things
It wasn't
we have seen,
intended on being a dating situation.
it was not intended to be a dating service. It was not intended to do that. But overwhelmingly, 80% of the members are women who have actually said in our focus groups, I'm tired of my husband and my boyfriend never wanting to do anything. So they come out and they get to meet all these women who have the same basic criteria. We want to meet people. We want to see who's going out and doing something fun, and we want to learn it together.
Okay.
Because there's safety in numbers.
So that explains why my wife, as I was coming here today, said, will you please talk to him about doing something, partnering with me, because she's got a group of fly fishing women
Yes.
that travel all over the state, going to different places, and would love to partner with you and do some stuff. And so when I told him it was mostly women,
Yes.
right, she really thought there may be this good connection. And I thought so too. It made
there
a lot of
absolutely is.
sense, because there's a whole lot of guys that don't want to do some of this
That's
stuff.
exactly right. And here's something for those fly fishermen and women. The number 1 and 2 seed fly fisher women in the country, one lives in Davidson, the other one lives in Cornelius. And they're ranked number 1 and number 2. So I am working on them to come out and do a teaching class
Right,
on how do you teach people how to fly fish.
right.
And because the group is largely women, they're going to see a group of largely women, which is one of the things that they've always complained about. They come out, they see a ton of men. I was like, yeah, do it with me. You're going to see just the opposite. And we're going to have a good time.
So I got to hook you up with my wife, because
Absolutely.
she's got a group called Women on the Fly.
Yes.
And I really think your group and her group would get along well.
Absolutely
Because you
right.
do the whole camping thing.
Yes.
They do the camping thing kind of like as an evil necessity, right?
Yes.
So you could teach them how to do that with a luxurious slant.
Without a doubt.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Where your business matters. Be right back.
We'll return to more of Local Biz Now with your host, Joe Vagnone, after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
It is so
Well, we don't
fun.
need
had a
any more
Mother's Day
rain, but
camp
we're
out
about to get
this
some
week.
more over the next couple of days.
Yep.
Finishing off our Monday on a dry note, increasing clouds.
Okay, I got
as we
my
go into
wife
tonight. Temperatures will
listening.
stay mild.
She's
We'll
all
get down
excited
to
now.
around
She's ready to.
60. For our Tuesday,
Absolutely.
you might want to pack the
Oh,
rain
we
gear
have a
just in
good time.
case. Scattered
We
showers,
have
even a
the
couple of
Mother's Day
thunderstorms possible by our
camp
Tuesday
out
evening.
with
Temperatures in the upper 70s.
so well.
That's your
Like,
forecast.
I had
for
all these
WSIC
events planned.
Weather
We
Center.
did nothing.
I'm meteorologist
They
Chase
taught
Myers.
from Friday to Sunday the entire time. every issue on the planet they talked about. They didn't want to do anything. We stayed at the campsite and lit a fire, and it was just a ball. It was probably one of the best campouts we've ever had.
Really?
And we did nothing but de-stress.
He swears to me if I went camping with him, I'd love it.
Yes.
Because I hate it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Most people who go camping with people who don't know how to camp.
Right. Oh, I definitely did that.
And there's the
Definitely no
number
question
one
about that.
reason of all the people that went this weekend, I think 3/4 of them had never camped out before. So this one, I tell you, they were calling saying, I'm a little nervous. Gonna have a great time. Yeah, by Sunday, they're like, when can we go again? Yeah, it's what you make of it. So if you watch YouTube, my advice that you will always hear me say is get off of YouTube. Get off of Meetup, these free services. Go with someone who knows what they're doing, and you're likely to see a totally different experience. Because we were living really well.
I told my wife you had tents with chandeliers in there. She didn't believe me.
Yeah, we have all kinds of stuff that we can set up.
So really it's glamping. We're a little, because I can do glam.
So here's the funny thing, right? The definition of those words. We really do have to speak to people and say, what do you consider glamping? Because when I say camping, this is what people think. I'm laying on the ground, I'm going to the bathroom in the woods, it's going to be this miserable, horrible experience. And the reality is that is so far from the truth, it's not even funny. Like, if you say glamping to me, I take it to a whole nother level. But if you look at my tent, I have a cot. I didn't even bring a sleeping bag. I had my sheets. I had a blow-up mattress. I had my pillow for my bed. I had a chair in my tent. It was just great. It was just great. Yeah. We just had an awesome time. And all the women were like, well, I thought I'd have to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, no, there's showers. All the campouts we do, because we're beginners, we all have showers. There's all bathrooms. There's all that stuff.
The bathhouse.
Local Biz Now with Joe Bagnell
It's a
continues
bathroom.
now on
Yes, a bathroom with
105.9,
shower.
100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. #1 live business radio show in all of North Carolina. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you because that's what we do. Here at WSIC, you are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Bagnell, where your business matters. I'm here with James Smith. He's the founder of My Outdoor Joy. He is the self-proclaimed adventure leader. James, my friend, thank you so much for being here.
You are welcome.
So we were talking during the break that the whole glamour tent thing, you're right on the edge of that. You don't go too far, but you do go far enough that all the comforts are what you try and teach your people to do.
Correct. You are not laying on the ground, and our famous term, we had to change the slogan is, where you pee in the woods, right? You're not doing this. There's always bathrooms. There's always showers.
Right.
When you're in your tent, it's not this little army tent that you've seen on YouTube.
That's right.
You probably have a queen size mattress with your sheets and your pillows from home. We have generators. We have battery generators. For some people who want to bring a TV, we actually have little generators can power the TVs. Right. It is literally not what you think.
Right.
And so what I've always told people is, come out once. All of our trips are typically 1, maybe 2 days because we're dealing with beginners.
Right.
Come out one day of the 2-day trip. See what it's like for yourself. Just come out, even if you don't camp, just come out and look. Because what you're going to find is going to be people just like you.
So, what are people looking for when they hook up with the group? Because I said, it seems like they look for people that they want to hang out with. Is that the main thing, or do they really want to learn some of these activities?
They want to learn. They want to hang out, right? There's a
because you're listing, skydiving
Yes.
and scuba diving
Yes.
and I mean all kind of stuff that you're teaching them if they want to learn this stuff.
Yeah, so they want to learn, right? Because this is, if you think about it, right? The only time, if I said, hey, you want to learn how to scuba dive? Your immediate thought is Jacques Cousteau, right? You're going down to look for a shipwreck. let me start off and say this. We're going to be at the YMCA. You are not going to be in an ocean.
And you're going to get that plastic toy at the bottom of the pool.
Yes, we're going to play tic-tac-toe. We're going to have a good time. But the only opportunity that people would normally get to do this is you get fully certified, and now you're spending $1,400, $1,500 plus, or you're at some vacation dealing with Scooby-Doo who's teaching you, and you're not really sure if he's qualified.
That's right.
This is a good local option for people to just learn the things that they've seen and not have to go and pay $5,000 for a vacation.
Right.
It's an opportunity, and you get to meet people who are similar to you in some cases.
Right.
Because they're adventurous. They want to see what it's like. They want to try it. And it gives them an opportunity, very low cost, to kind of see what it's like. And all of our folks are experts. Here's the other thing. You
are making sure what they're learning is accurate.
It's absolutely accurate. These are not YouTube. I had to clean up my language because I almost said something wrong. They're not the YouTube wizards who have a TV show, but if you get them in real life, they couldn't do anything. All of our instructors are extremely experienced, whether they've climbed Kilimanjaro, we've got an Everest guy, we've had people that have done the Appalachian Trail. These are not the normal people walking around.
Right.
These are highly trained experts with real practical experience. And that's something you can't get on Meetup, on YouTube.
Right.
People who have actually done it. And there is no substitute for real learning. There is no substitute. Because if I watch another YouTube video and they tell somebody to do something wrong, I literally think my head's going to blow up. Because I started this and I had an afro. Now I don't have any hair. Like, I pulled it all out. They're dangerous, literally. So, yeah, come out, and all of our events they're fun.
So you're supposed to be teaching us something. This entire first half of the show, you've been teaching me some stuff already. If somebody wanted to reach you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Go to the website, myoutdoorjoy.com. myoutdoorjoy.com. It has everything. It has events. It has the descriptions of events.
It really does. It's a great website.
It tells you everything. And we've now expanded our membership options. You can get a membership to our company for as little as $12 a month. You can't get that anywhere. The amount of expertise that we're bringing to the table, you just can't get it. We're about to do a prepping class.
Even the newsletter that you send out kind of gives me a little mini vacation where I get to read. Yes. Even if I'm not going, I get to read what you did or where you're going next.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I might be sitting in my recliner in Cornelius, but I'll be reading about what y'all did.
That's exactly right. Well, let me tell you how real this company is. So we were contacted by the mayor of Cherryville yesterday. For those who don't know, last week's storm took out all of Cherryville. And what they found out is their entire population wasn't ready. You are now, because we teach a prepping and survival class. So now what we're doing is we're teaching people, how do you prep? How do you make sure your household is safe for 3 days, a week, or a month? Knowing those skills.
I need that, but I've been telling my wife we got phase 2, 3, and 4 when the lights go out, but she's not paying attention.
That's exactly right. Everybody says, well, I'll just buy a generator. Well, a generator, if you read it, we talk about a generator and why generators are a waste of money. Because if there's no power, the minute you run out of gas, where are you going to get gas from? Now you got to travel 100 miles to get gas in a real emergency. So we're teaching people how to live in their houses without power. This is important because we're now actually doing something sponsored by Cherryville.
And it makes a guy like me feel like I'm in control when there's problems going on out there.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Our goal is to empower people with nature in the outdoors. And if you can do that, we want people to grow without us. We want you to say, I'm going to Kilimanjaro next year. We want you to say that because if you say it, we've done our jobs. Right. And that's what we're going.
That'll be a lot of fun.
That's our goal. And we're going to have a whole lot of fun doing it. We're scheduling a kickball game. And for those who say, well, I'm too old, I'm a little rounded around the middle, you probably are not watching us on YouTube because guess what? I will never be confused with Twiggy. It's not going to happen today or tomorrow. So there are very few excuses. One of the things that someone said to me about a year ago, funniest story ever. He's like, the only reason I ever came out is because I saw a picture of you. And I said, I don't know if that's an insult or is that an acknowledgement?
Well,
and I'm still not
but
sure.
honestly, if you were this Mr. Fit guy,
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. It's going to be hard for me to come out and hang
That's
with you.
exactly right.
You're going to embarrass me in front of the ladies. I'm not going to let that happen.
That's exactly right. So, you can't use your age. You can't use weight. You can't. All the traditional things that you try to avoid and try to give yourself excuses for. The minute you see my picture, it's like, well, that just went down the tube.
But
might as well come on out.
But the truth is, that's what this group's all about.
Yes.
Drop those to the side. If it interests you, come on by, and you will find a place that makes you comfortable, and there'll be somebody in the group that is similar to you and makes you comfortable as well.
Absolutely. So this weekend, I talk about this Mother's Day camp out we did. So our oldest participant was 78 years old. Yeah, now you can't even use excuse. When we went skydiving a couple of months ago, our oldest participant, 83. She was the first one out of the plane.
Really?
83 years old. Figure she didn't have much time to live anyway, so I guess she figured she'd go first.
Let me do it first. That's funny.
83. So age is not a factor. Age is not a factor.
So what are some of the things that you've got planned moving forward? So if somebody that's interested, what are those things that you're thinking about?
Oh, my goodness. We are revamping the schedule right now based on all the feedback. So every Tuesday, we're out on the greenways. We every month, we try to pick a new greenway. So at the end of the year, we've done probably 3/4, if not 100% of the greenways. Every Tuesday, it's a 45-minute, it's a casual de-stress walk. If you just want to come out and walk, meet some people, come on out. It's a free event. We just want people to get out and walk. Our next event is June 2nd, where we have rented Copperhead Island, which is here in Mecklenburg County. We have rented the entire island to do a camp out, which is going to be a hoot. And we're even bringing, okay, campers, we're bringing a food truck. You don't even have to make a fire. We'll be teaching prepping classes coming up because it's just been on demand. People are saying, when are you going to do the next prepping class? And we also have an environmental component of the company. We teach something called Leave No Trace, and we are one of very few companies that actually teaches that in the Southeast. I think there's only 3 or 4 of us. So we're even teaching the environmental pieces of when you go out in the woods, how do we keep it clean? How do we keep it preserved for our kids? So we're teaching some of those basic skills that people don't know. Here's my quiz today. You always want to learn something.
Yep.
So let's assume we're on a trail and there's a puddle in front of you. Should you, A, walk through the puddle, B, walk around the puddle, C, walk around the grass that usually circles the puddle to get to the other side? So what's your answer, Joe?
B, I'm walking around the puddle.
Oh, Tamara's here with us. What's your answer, Tamara?
That is just the most bizarre question that I wouldn't even think about. Like,
I
would probably go on the grass or like right on the outskirts of the puddle.
The answer is A. You walk through the puddle.
Really?
Yes, you walk through the puddle because the trails were formed to preserve the natural habitat of the area. So when you walk off of the trail, you tend to damage the natural flora fauna in the area. So
Wilton has looked at me thinking, I'd be dead in 20 minutes.
Oh!
I'd be worried about my shoes.
Yeah, you're wearing hiking boots. Adult recess. Have you ever seen a kid in a puddle? What's the reaction to the kid? You want to understand what your natural inclination is? A kid will walk right to the puddle.
Okay. And this is a group of 3,000 people that want to all splash through the puddle, if you understand.
And have a good time.
Okay. I got it.
And when they're walking through, they're all laughing. Like, oh, I walked through a puddle.
Wilton, you need to stop laughing. That was a trick question. I just want you to, he tricked me on that.
That's a good question. That is your learning for the day.
I still ain't going through that puddle. You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We'll be right back. Walk through the puddle. I'm not walking through that puddle.
I'm not either.
Yes, that is what
we got a lot to learn.
Well, that's what your little shoes are for. You'll be okay. It's a great question.
When we get back, we're going to fire it up. Yep, okay. Walk through the puddle.
This one's a little bit longer, so I'll let you know.
Don't tell me, Wilton, you'd have walked through the puddle. There's no way you'd have said that. Oh, he's going to hop
Step
over the
Would
puddle.
that
As
be
long as he stays,
acceptable?
yes, as long as he stayed on the trail. Yes.
You didn't give me that
Yeah,
option.
and I'm going to have another, it's called Leave No Trace. I'll have another question for you.
Okay.
But I'll give you a heads up.
Okay.
You're outside, right?
You ain't got to give me no heads up. I'll take it.
Right?
But this time.
I'm going to give you something to think about.
No. Because we're going to test Wilton next time, too.
Okay.
Don't leave him out of this.
Absolutely.
'Cause
Absolutely.
if I got to be made fun of, I definitely want to make sure that Wilton is all up in it.
You're going to learn
Any
another fact.
opportunity I got to make Wilton look bad, I'm all into that.
Oh, my goodness. I've got facts for you. I got facts all day long. We can do this. This is the trivia.
So I'm gonna tell you something. Your survival thing, which I'd not thought about you doing, that's an interesting thing and twist to what you do. Our power went out. I don't know, last storm or whatever. And I remember telling, because I've been telling this to my wife for years, right? I got a flashlight in every single room, and she used to make fun of me. And so power goes out, and I run around the house. It's just me and my wife in the house. And I run around the house, and I say, phase three, find the flashlight.
Yes.
An hour later, we got all the flashlights on the kitchen table. None of the batteries work. My wife looked at me after like 45 minutes. She said, we're going to die. If there's an emergency, we're already dead.
Most people are. Most people.
So I did have a flashlight in every room, and it did take me some time to find out. Like I forgot where I put it. But every flashlight, the battery was dead in it.
Yep. You want to know what should scare you? Have you gotten a letter from Duke Energy yet? Or I think Statesville Power has sent it out. It says all homes should be prepared for 3 days without power. Have you gotten a letter yet?
What?
All homes should be prepared not to have power for 3 days. If you've not gotten a letter, this is what I've been telling people. You should be very scared. Because if Duke Energy sends that out, what do they know? Because, that's like,
Oh, we got a minute.
Yeah, minute 19. Yeah, it should scare people. No one's putting two and two together. But
my wife is still listening. We got to do phase 3 protocol.
Yeah.
With the flashlight.
Yes. And can you keep yourself warm in your house? Power goes out. You have
Let me ask a question.
Yes.
I got the gas logs. Does that count?
It will, but it will be, it's restricted to that room. But what I've been telling people recently, everyone should have at least 1 or 2 kerosene heaters in their house. Because this is not the kerosene of your grandmother's day. You walk in and you smell the kerosene.
Right.
Kerosene burns extremely clean. 1 kerosene heater can typically heat anywhere from 800 to 1,000 square feet. So in the middle of winter, you now have heat. Yes. I got a good fact for everything.
Some of the 500 members of his Supercharger network team that he suddenly fired last month. And Kraft Heinz looking to offer more nutritional foods at the market. Now it's considering selling its Oscar Mayer division. The maker of hot dogs, cold cuts, and bacon could be worth $5 billion. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Now back to Local Biz Now with your host, Joe Vagnone, on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. Number 1 top business radio show all in North Carolina. Here coming to you live from Burner Cigar Studio, home of the finest premium cigars and cigar smokers in the world. Great people, premium cigars. Life is good at Burner Cigars, located in Birkdale Village. We hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you, because that's what we do here at News Talk WSIC. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, because your business matters. And I'm here with my co-host for the entire month, James Smith. He is the founder of My Outdoor Joy. He is a self-proclaimed adventure leader. James, thank you so much for being here, buddy.
Oh, you are welcome.
So you wanted to give me another test.
Oh.
You go ahead and give me another test.
Are you ready?
I told Wilton he's coming in on this, because if you're going to try and stump me and embarrass me, make me look bad in front of all the Vills, Wilton's coming along for the ride, too.
This is one.
Get ready, Wilton. Get ready.
This is one. Are you ready?
I'm ready. What's the question?
You're walking outside,
Okay.
and you're eating a banana or an orange, and you're throwing the peels all over the place, is that destructive to the environment, or is it just biodegradable?
Oh, no, there's no problem.
No problem. Tamara's here, who's going to be the guest this week.
Whoa. He just put a big bomb up. He's suggesting that's destructive.
Wilton, what's the answer?
Wilton said it was destructive.
I think it's harmless.
I agree with Wilton.
But it's leave no trace. And that is a trace. So maybe not.
It is not harmless.
Whoa. Give Wilton time to stumble.
He stumbled. He got it wrong.
You're not supposed to eat the banana peel?
No, don't eat it. You should not throw away organics in the wilderness because they are not native to the area. So lots of little animals will eat an orange peel. They'll get sick. They'll die.
I don't want to going to kill a rabbit or something.
It can kill animals. And if it's not indigenous, the other thing that could actually happen is that the orange peels are not as degradable as people think. If you put an orange peel in the ground that's produced in the U.S. with all its pesticides, you come back a year later, it's probably still sitting there, just be gray. So it's actually not degrading like people think. So no, if you're eating an apple or a banana, pack out the skin and take it with you.
Okay. So let's change gears.
Yes.
So I've got a guest who I've known for years, and she is full of information, and I cannot wait to introduce her. She is the CEO of Vaudra. Am I saying that right?
Vaudra.
I'm sorry?
Vaudra
International.
Yes. Intellectual
Property Protection Enforcement. Tamara, say your last name, please.
Rabenold.
Tamara, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So, describe exactly what your company does, because I know I'm going to do a really poor job of describing it. And that's because, we're going to talk about it in a minute, you really do more than just one single thing. So kind of describe a little bit about your company.
I would say ultimately at the core of what we do, we are protecting ideas, innovations, brands to survive generations. We are protecting them through investigations. We're protecting them through education. We're trying to help entrepreneurs, business owners, large corporations, all different sizes, make sure that there aren't bad actors, bad guys, criminals unfairly profiting from their blood, sweat, and tears that they have put into their business, their product, their development, all that goes into it. We want to protect it.
So when I went to your website, the first thing that came to my mind is it just for big business? So because it seemed to me that what you're protecting is intellectual property at a really large level. Is my interpretation missing on that?
We do have clients that are in that big business, international brands that are in your, in your purse, in your cupboard, in your shower. But we also work with smaller businesses. And when we're doing that, it's usually kind of hand in hand with their attorney, because the critical thing before we can do anything to really help somebody, you have to have it protected first. You have to have intellectual property that is registered, or you don't need an investigation. So that's what has to come first. So a lot of times they've already taken that step to register a trademark or a patent or something like that, so that then we can come in when they feel somebody is infringing on that or maybe trying to create confusion in the marketplace. And that's where we can come in and kind of help investigate like what the intent is, how long they've been doing it, what all is going on here, so that then the attorney and that company can then have the information they need to really best guide their next steps.
And James, when she said investigate, I mean investigate. She's got skilled officers that absolutely do this type of work and have been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. So this is serious business. It ain't just getting on the Google for 10 minutes. You don't understand me?
Goodness, why not?
So what are some of the one or two top primary type of clients that come to you? What are they looking for you to do for them?
Oh, so much of it relates to online marketplaces, because we were talking about it before. Online marketplaces and all of the counterfeit goods that are on your Amazon, your eBay, Walmart. It's things that people don't realize. And
in most cases, I would not know.
Well, and I mean that you're in the majority.
Right.
Because unless you're really in this space, I mean, very regularly people are like, oh, I had no idea when I tell somebody about what we do. I spoke with the Rotary just, I guess, last month or so. And there was just such an interest in realizing, oh God, I mean, counterfeits are everywhere. And yes, Walmart.com, which you wouldn't expect. I mean, Amazon maybe because you've got a lot of 3P sellers, third-party sellers, but Walmart is opening up their doors to third-party sellers too, as well as shipping by them. So like you just have all these dynamics, and brands are, I mean, everybody uses whack-a-mole. I hate to say whack-a-mole, but
it works.
I mean, it is this proliferation of product from all over the world that is trying to get right to your doorstep as fast as possible. And so that's what we really help to try when we have brands coming to us. They're like, okay, what is going on online? We don't even know where to start. And so we've really done quite a few, very recently too, kind of online audits to be like, okay, let's look at where are your designated sales channels? What are the good guys supposed to be doing, so that then we can identify the ones that are the bad actors that are putting product in the wrong. And it may be counterfeit, it could be stolen, it could be diverted, and it's actually meant for another market. And so it may not be properly tested to be in the US. You've kind of got a variety. And so we'll end up going on all these marketplaces, social media, to see what's there, so that then we can help kind of provide a plan of action of, okay, because brand protection is a long-term game. You can have short-term wins, and we always try to get some of those quick, easy wins.
Because there's always somebody trying to.
Yeah, but usually those quick, easy wins are not going to be the most like impactful. And so really kind of having a strategy and plan in place and saying, okay, here's what we're going to do, and having the right partners involved to support you, especially as a brand grows, is really important.
So this is a personal question that I'm asking because this just happened to me. I helped my son set up a Walmart store and an Amazon store through a third-party management company. You are now making me think maybe I should investigate the management company to make sure that the products they're helping me purchase to send to Walmart and Amazon, in fact, are legitimate. Because until I'm sitting here talking to you, I gave no thought to that at all. I just assumed they were buying legitimate stuff, but in fact, they may not be.
Well, I mean, there is just such a wide variety out there. You just never know. And then you also, there's definitely different risk tolerances. So some brands may be more, C&D happy, or, they're going to send you a cease and desist letter,
Right.
or they're going to do a takedown, or they're going to do whatever. So you just really, it is so important to know the origin of your product. I mean, and platforms, because of various acts that have come out, Informed Consumers, Shop Safe, things that they've been working on in the legislature, trying to make more transparency with these platforms.
Know the origin of your product. That, I got to be honest with you, it is not something I gave a whole lot of thought to until I'm sitting there talking to you.
Well, you're not alone. And that's why, on Amazon and Walmart, now granted, there's also a ton of fraud and a whole lot of shady practices going on by the sellers, because, you want to get on these platforms because of the number of eyeballs and traffic that get to these websites.
Right.
But you have at least a little bit more visibility to who you're actually buying from by clicking on that seller name on Amazon, so that you can see a name and address. So at least okay, is that person sitting in whatever country I want him to be sitting in, or him or her sitting in, or not? And same with Walmart. So eBay doesn't have that degree of visibility because it's more consumer to consumer.
So
these are businesses.
Somewhat helping by being legitimate at Walmart, but not as much as I thought. When we come back, I want to talk some more about movies online that are. Goodness gracious!
I have another question.
We'll be right back. Somebody's stealing something.
Keep it right here. Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone will return.
So to set you up with my question is going to be about the international enforcement, because if I'm in China, our copyright and trademark rules don't apply.
Right, you have to get it protected there. And it depends on if it's coming into the United States. There's different things that can go.
I forgot, didn't I? Okay.
What are the burners?
I got to do a little
Yes.
little advertisement for my sponsor. I was supposed
That's
to do
fair.
it at the half.
We ought to be smoking, right?
There you go.
That's right. I was supposed to be doing the half, and I did.
Yep.
Nobody likes Wilton. He got no friends. But if it wasn't for him, I'd have no show.
Somebody's got to keep you in line.
Yes.
For 9 of the 11 years, Black Powder Coffee was my sponsor.
Right.
Well, I moved to Monday afternoon. It didn't work because I used to be Friday morning. So I lost Black Powder Coffee. And so now I've been looking for a new sponsor. And I've been smoking cigars for 35 years, you know. So it seemed to be a nice little thing. Then I came to the owner and said, hey, dude, what do you think about burners, you know, cigar? I didn't know if the whole tobacco thing was going to rub him the wrong way or whatever. He said, that'll be great, but no smoking in the studio.
Yep, there you go.
We got windows right here, man. I could just pop a little vent right here.
Nobody will know. Nobody will know.
So they see the little cloud.
Well, here's a personal story. It's really funny. So, my outdoor joy, right? It's pretty unique. I was on Meetup. Somebody called me. Said, you know, there's somebody created a group called My Outdoor Joy. I'm like, so I sent them a letter saying, hey, you need to knock this off, because there's only one place that came from. Then they changed it last week to Outdoor Joy Club, and I'm thinking, yeah, that's a lot of confusion. So I'm literally thinking about, do I have to get a lawyer to get them to change the name? Because I'm not necessarily trademarked, but what I understand, I've existed long enough that clearly someone could make an inference.
Yeah. My experience is,
it's not going to do anything.
By the time you realize you need it, you're going to have to change your name.
Local Biz Now with Joe Bagnone continues now on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Bagnone. This is where your business matters. Fire it up, Wilton.
This is Josh Johnson, the guy who's used to rushing into burning buildings. But when I need to rush into relaxation mode, I rush to Burner Cigar. It's like calling 911 for your stress. Join me in extinguishing worries one puff at a time.
This is Joe Bagnone. Please go to Burner Cigar. If you're watching, if you're not watching and you're live on the radio, I'm holding up a big sign that says, this cigar is on Joe. If you go by Burners, hold up this sign, go drop the photo on Facebook. Your cigar is on me. Please go by Burner Cigar located in Brookdale Village, and tell them Joe sent you and your first cigar is on me. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for Burner Cigars. Now I am here with my co-host James Smith. He's the founder of My Outdoor Joy, and I'm also here with Tamara, and she is the CEO. I don't want to mess that name up again. Say it again.
Vaudra International.
Vaudra
Yes.
International, intellectual property protection enforcement, and so much more. The truth is. So we were talking about how your industry has changed, because I know when I met you 4 or 5 years ago, it was not a lot of online stuff. It was a lot of chasing people down kind of stuff. I mean, this online stuff has become more and more prevalent to what it is you do. Is that a fair statement?
Well, it's always been a critical factor because you can do online takedowns and enforcement, but not everything is worth going to the ground. So then it's also, there's an investment there. You need to make sure you're really getting the big suppliers, the ones that are going to have the greatest impact to kind of, cut the head of the snake, so to speak. So there's always been the online component, certainly with COVID and everybody shopping online. I mean, everybody already was, but the degree of now you're getting, your toilet tissue or whatever also delivered. So it's kind of a different world just from the magnitude of it. And of course, counterfeiters and bad guys just jump right on that.
So you find a counterfeiter and a bad guy. at the Walmart. I mean, at the Walmart online. Can you go to Walmart and tell them? Is there a way to make that happen? Because if I tried to do that, I don't think Walmart's going to listen to me.
You can. You can actually, if you're and we're actually registered agents on the behalf of brands very often, where we can do enforcement on these different platforms on their behalf. But we're always taking certain steps to ensure the authenticity before we would do something like that.
Right.
So making a test purchase, making sure you have the evidence that you can confirm that that's counterfeit and what's going on before you would take an action that, could impact somebody's livelihood. You want to make sure that you have the facts.
Right.
Here's the elephant in the room. What do we deal with when we deal with China? Everybody on Amazon knows, here comes the China stuff. How do you deal with that? They are not subject to our laws.
Well, right. I mean, it really is about what market you're in. So if the product is entering the U.S. from China, there are different things that can be done, whether it's recordals with customs based on those trademarks. There's things that could be taken to try to get to the choke points of wherever those shipments are coming in for those distributors. The onesie twosies are really tough. And I mean, those are all the USPS, little shipments that come in that aren't containers. So it's.
Can you track the manufacturing in China? That manufacturer is making that shirt. I'll give you an example. My wife bought a shirt that we thought was an NFL shirt. That when she told me she only paid $32 for it, I said, "Baby, there's no way. There's no way."
That's it.
So somebody is fooling my wife, and literally, she showed me the website. It was literally copied the actual NFL site, just a different click button. And of course, my wife thought she was buying something legit. Would you be able to track who that manufacturer is, which, by the way, could be the same manufacturer manufacturing that NFL stuff?
Well, and definitely the bigger you are, the more popular you are, the bigger the target.
Right.
So the proliferation of the rogue websites that have the $30 whatever,
right.
Jerseys, hoodies, sunglasses, whatever. Even electronics, which then get into a whole different kind of health and safety risk with the potential of causing fires, of, malfunctioning in ways that could be harmful. So as far as getting back to the manufacturer, there are instances where we have and we can, but you really have to, because there's so many. And of course, a lot of these websites, there may be that one, but they may have a whole host of sites they're running. That's just one. So then you're always trying to get back to brands that have enforcement strategies and are really, developing these programs. They're looking into what are the connections and who, if we're going up the chain, we want to try to take down everybody at once.
And how do we deal with the consumer? So here's the thing that I look at. We have a lot of rules. We have a lot of enforcement. But the consumer goes out and they buy something for $10 that they know should be $55. And then they complain.
You beating on my wife for that $30 shirt that she knew she made $120.
Hey, I'm not saying anything. Because one of the things that you often see on Amazon is when you look at the reviews, somebody will say, "Oh, this is just junk." Well, and my response always on Amazon is, well, when you bought something for $2, when you know it should be $100, stop complaining. You bought the low price item. That's how Walmart came about. That's how Aldi's came about. People wanted cheap. They necessarily didn't want good. How do we deal with the consumer in America?
Well, I mean, a big piece of it is, education and having them be aware, but there's also people that buy counterfeits and don't care. I mean, the kids are buying dupes. They're talking about it. It's cool with reps. So there's this whole culture that's coming up with this younger generation too, where if they can't afford it, they're going to find it another way. And I mean, influencers, there's all kinds of stuff going on social media where counterfeits can be cool. And where I'm on a committee through the International Trademark Association. It's a huge global organization that supports this industry. But their Unreal campaign, we go out and do presentations ages 13 to 23-year-olds, educating on, what's a trademark? What is intellectual property? Why is it important? And why do you need to think about the origin of the product if it could be supporting, child labor, unfair labor practices, wages, terrorist? Like there's so many different things that those counterfeit goods and the monies from those are ultimately funding that you just, when you start looking for these next generations and they're really thinking about their why, that's why not.
Okay, so first of all, don't let James sit over there and act like he almighty, you understand? Because before you got here, I told him he was going to be sitting in this seat, and he started smiling, thinking about the time he was in the barbershop growing up, getting free CDs, $2 CDs for movies. So he's been that same consumer.
Absolutely
He's trying to beat my wife up over.
Hey, it's just a little static. Leave me alone. It's just a little static.
Okay, so bringing that up as I pick on James, you then said, well, there's a whole online illegitimate place to get these movies, because I thought that was over with. The bootlegging of a movie is gone now, or a song, because all that is now became digital. And you're saying no, there's websites out there that are illegitimate.
Oh, yes, the streaming services and
I had no idea it was illegal, informal streaming services.
Oh, absolutely. And, they don't have licenses. There's all kinds of different things. They're funded by ads. So even I had the opportunity to be on a panel it was a training for Homeland Security that was hosted by the IPR Center a couple weeks ago. And so I actually had the chance of hearing some of the conversations that law enforcement are having when they're being trained with what's going on in the world. And that was really a big thing that was, there was a whole case study related to these streaming websites because we don't do a lot in that space.
Right.
We deal more with other kinds of services and hard goods, physical goods, products. But the prevalence of these streaming sites, and then the biggest thing that consumers don't think about, and I was like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. And it had crossed my mind, but not to the degree that they articulated, with the volume of those sites that you're clicking on something, and then you have the weird, you're already on a site that is streaming illegal content. And then the little window pops up that says, oh, there's a virus on your computer. And you go to click it to X out of it, and it actually installs the virus. Like there's so many computers, and with oh my gosh, the phishing schemes and identity theft going on those kind of sites, you're absolutely opening up a Trojan horse to all kinds of things that could come into your world and wreck it in a minute.
All because you want to get that movie 30 days or 60 days before it's going to come out.
Absolutely.
I had no idea.
Wow.
If somebody wanted to reach you because they've got some questions about some intellectual interests that they have, how could they do that?
Well, I can be reached. Our office number is 704-895-3939. Vaudra.com. There's multiple forms. VAUDRA.com. Info@Vaudra.com. Come straight to me. I also have my personal phone email address, tdt@Vaudra.com. But anyway, if you go on our website to learn more.
I want them to hear VAUDRA.com.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
What advice, we've only got about 30 seconds or so. What advice would you give somebody whether they should or should not protect their name, their brand, and their product? What would you say to that?
Think about how you would feel if somebody decided to rip it off. Like how much blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights, and trying to have it survive. Do you have a team you're trying to support, a family you're trying to support? And if you at least it's not expensive to get a trademark registered. There's things that come up with it, but just to have a baseline in place will give you a better foothold. Attorneys do free consults. Talk to somebody.
Right.
I'm always glad to talk, but I cannot give legal advice because I am an investigator, not an attorney.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
As always, this is an exceptional show. Tamara, thank you so much.
Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Your business matters. See you next week.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W260.